Hey guys, it's Brandon from Clique Games, and today we're going to dive into what makes a great game pitch, and specifically a great game pitch for VR. We get a ton of pitches every single week, and let's be real, some are fantastic, and other ones are not so fantastic, but I want yours to be on that fantastic side. So I'm going to break down exactly what we're looking for and what most other publishers are looking for when a pitch comes through to us. The first thing to keep in mind is that the pitch deck is probably the first thing I'm going to click on. It's the first impression I'm going to get of your game. So if it's confusing or boring, then it's probably going to go into the no pile. But if you nail it, well, you're gonna get a second look. But what does it mean to nail it? Well, at least here at Clique, we want to see that you understand three main things, which is your game, your audience, and the industry. We're always telling people, please don't do some buzzword soup, right? Don't tell us you're revolutionizing VR or something over the top. Just show us why your game matters. I like to call this the thing that sticks. So let's dive into these key elements. First is concept. What is the meat of the game? Is it just another VR shooter or sandbox game? That's not what we're looking for, right? We want something fresh, something that stands out. Like take Monkey Do VR, right? This pitch had us laughing out loud because the concept of the game is so simple and clear, it's a no-brainer. They communicated that the game is fun, that it is exciting, what the demo is, all within the first 2 pages. And to be honest, you probably don't even need a single line of text if your art is good enough. Sometimes a piece of background art can explain the entire game to me. Think of your pitch deck like it's a movie trailer, right? You want to hit the big beats. We don't want to get bogged down in the weeds of backstories or complex systems, right? I need you to make me care about the game in the first 30 seconds because you probably don't have much longer than that. So the next thing I want you to do is tell me who is going to play the game. If you can't tell us, then I have to assume you do not know. Take Dragon Fist VR Kung Fu, for example, right? They knew their niche, which was martial arts and fighting fans. They had a clear target, they knew who their audience was, and that's why the game took off the way it did. This next one may be one of the most important, which is concepts are one thing, gameplay is another, right? I can understand the core mechanics of almost anything you throw at me, but I need you to break down those core mechanics and explain why they are fun, why they are engaging, specifically in your game. For example, Frenzy VR nailed this. They didn't get technical about dev decisions, they just gave us a clear sense as to why the gameplay would be addictive. Multiple levels, multiple weapons, climbing, destroying, shooting, throwing, ragdolls, all that. It was simple to the point. You could have shown me one 10-second clip, I would have known everything I need to know. Of course, the phrase "don't judge a book by its cover" is applicable sometimes, but to be honest, if your pitch looks bad, I probably am going to judge it. That isn't to say that the pitch deck has to be crazy polished and you have to spend thousands of dollars on art, right? But your pitch deck should at least look professional. Show us that you've thought through the tone of the game and make it clear. As I said earlier, I can often tell within one piece of art what the game is going to be about. If all of your artwork can't convey at least some important piece of the game, then it's probably not ready. And finally, we have to see a development roadmap. I love ambition, but if your timeline looks like it's out of a fantasy novel, we're probably going to pass. You need to keep it real, you need to keep it concise. Frenzy Extinction, for example, had a roadmap that made sense. It was clear, it had basic milestones, and it didn't promise the impossible. A playable demo, an alpha, a beta, a launch. It was grounded, it's exactly what we want to see. Now, what really sets a great game apart is 2 words, which is innovation and passion. We've seen a lot of pitches, so it takes a lot to get us excited, but it's not just about being different for the sake of being different, right? Uniqueness is about innovation. Show me why what you are doing fits uniquely into the game that you've built, into the story that you're telling, into the worlds that you're crafting, right? And that is going to bring through the passion. I need to know that you believe in the game, that this game is the most important thing that's going on in your life, that you are in it 100%, because if you're not, why would I be? All right, to cap this off, here's a few things that makes your pitch a hard pass. Number 1, be clear about what you're asking for, because if I have no idea what you need, I cannot help you. Every single pitch that comes through the door is asking for different things, whether it's funding or marketing support or connections, right? Just tell us what you need up front in the pitch deck so that we know how best to help. Number 2 is, don't just tell me how much money you need, tell me where it's going. Why is that money going to help you? Is it to get you to a vertical slice? Is it to complete the entire game? Is it money you need to keep on 5 developers, 2 developers, an artist? Do you need to hire an external team, right? I want to know where that money is going. Any publisher that's thinking about investing in games is going to have a significant amount of risk involved, and we want to de-risk that by understanding that the team using our money is competent, that they are confident, that they can take all those pieces and bring it together. So please give us a great idea of how you're going to use your funding. And finally, number 3 is stick to your guns. If you're pitching a game that you've worked on for months or even years, don't let someone who spent 20 minutes looking at it convince you to change everything, right? Be confident in your vision. That's what I want to see. If I have advice or if I have notes on what I think needs to be changed, I want you to tell me why I'm wrong. And that's going to convince me that you know the right answer. Being your publisher doesn't mean I get to decide everything about your game. It means it's a cooperation. It's a partnership. Whenever you work with a publisher, they're going to have a much different idea of what they want this game to be than you sometimes. And it's important to stand your ground on the things that are integral to your passion and your vision for the game. Don't let a publisher change what your game is going to be about unless you are confident that that is the best route. So that's it. Pitching a game to Clique Games or to any other publisher doesn't have to be complicated, but it has to be thoughtful and thorough. Remember, the pitch is about showing us why your game matters, why players will care, and why we should care. And if you have no idea where to start, why don't you just download all of our pitch decks? They're available for free on our website so that you can see pitch decks that we've accepted and ones that we've helped teams like yours get funding with. It'll give you a good idea of how many pages there should be, what type of content you should include, and so on. So feel free to download those. And of course, if you've got a VR game that you're ready to pitch, send it to us on click.games. We are always open to brand new pitches from teams like yours.